listening to the Jason and Travis Kelce podcast the other day. Apparently, Jamar Chase threw a little shade at Pat Mahomes and said he's backing his guy. He's saying Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in the NFL, and he threw out a little Pat who, which that's fun. Those two teams are rivals.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing in NFC Championship games maybe for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So it made me start thinking just about the MVP odds. Because it's the best quarterback award. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you know it, I have it right here at MGM. Burrow and Mahomes, co-favorites at plus 650. If you had to go one or the other, if you're going to take one of the favorites.
Patrick.
Right?
Yeah.
I loved Joe Burrow's awesome. But Mahomes is just the man. Right. After what he did without Tyreek Hill, how do you...
Just to be clear, I have a steadfast rule now. Okay? This is my general principle. I'm voting for Patrick Mahomes every year for the next 10 years. Maybe every year for the rest of his career, depending on how long it goes. Until something tells me otherwise, and I'm voting for the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl every year. In Philadelphia, blasphemous. I know y'all going to be pissed off about that. But think about it from this aspect.
It's not as if it's a bad bet.
Think about it this way. This is how I think about it, especially for Super Bowl. If you voted for Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl every year, you would have won, 7 out of his 20 years.
Yes.
Meaning you would have won a lot of freaking money. Those 13 losses would have meant nothing because those 7 wins would have been so heavy.
They could have been the favorite. It wouldn't matter.
It would have been so heavy because hey, I'm going to just, even if it's a light $20, it would have been so heavy of a win if you did it before the season started that it would have did everything. And I think Patrick Mahomes is on that type of run. And 5 years, he's been to the championship game, the AFC championship every year. So it's not one of those bets where you're like, I threw the Pelicans out there. That could end up being a terrible bet. You know what I mean? Like I threw the Heat out there. That could end up being a bad bet.
Those are based on potential and what I think might happen. Guess what's going to happen?
This is never going to be a bad bet.
The Chiefs are going to be in the AFC championship. Spoiler alert, they're going to be in the Final Four next year, you know?
This goes along with my Patrick Mahomes thing. Chiefs over 11.5. Come on, dog.
It's a big number, and you're not wrong.
What are we doing here?
They're gonna win 12 or 13 games. They do play in a pretty difficult division. Good rivalries out there, but they're the Kings. They're the best of the best. They've established themselves. They have a tough schedule. Everyone who has the Chiefs on their schedule, though, goes, ooh, we got a tough schedule.
How are they not?
Yeah.
How are you not going to take it? Again, and last year was supposed to be the down year. I don't know if everybody remembers. They traded away Tyreek Hill. They had 6 rookie cornerbacks. That was supposed to be the down year. So I know it's one of those things where odds are I don't want to give anybody 12 or 13 games, but they're the Kansas City.
It's Patrick Mahomes, man.
It's Pat Mahomes. To me, that's easy money. Again, some bets you go, well, you're not going to make much money for it. I call them build your bank bets. Build your bank. If you know it's an obvious win, bet it anyway. Build your bank, and now you can have riskier bets with the money you make off of building your bank. To me, the Kansas City Chiefs going over 11.5 is a build your bank. Yeah, it may not make you a ton of money, but it'll make you a little bit of money, and that little bit of money helps you with other things. So Kansas City Chiefs over 11.5. Again, how could you not?
It's what minus 134, minus 140 for the over 11.5. So obviously it's the Chiefs. Everyone thinks that they're going to go over, but people still bet it because it seems even with a future that's not going to pay off till January at this point, it is something that most likely going to hit.
Yeah.
Feel very confident in them winning 12 games, especially with I always have to do the math in my head. I'm like, 17-game season too. It would be a shock. That would be a surprise under if even just 11 wins seems like an underachieving season for them.
And don't get me wrong, they are, when it comes to individual games, I'm not betting on the Kansas City Chiefs because last year I think they were 6-11-1 against the spread. It was just y'all don't even play football for the first 3 quarters and then go, all right, Pat, go win it. they lose against the spread all the time because they be BSing.
And they're like, because everyone, agrees this is the best, there are multiple possessions on everybody all the time. Like, their lines are always inflated and they never cover, but they do just win.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. The one thing I was going to say is my surprise everything is Jordan Love. I think he is the breakout player of the NFL next year. I think he throws for 45,000 yards. Now, I don't think Green Bay is going to be 10, 11 wins, but I think he's going to put everybody on notice that Green Bay just fortunately went from a great quarterback to a good quarterback. I'm not going to throw the great things around. He's not going to be Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. But hey, they got another really.
And those are the upper 1% of all time.
Yeah. It's not.
He could be great and not be them.
It's not fair to do that. But I think Jordan Love is going to have one of them seasons and where he puts everybody on those. Similar to, again, I'm not comparing him to Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers' first year, it was a disappointment. After he sat 4 years, he didn't make the playoffs. But everybody go, oh, but I see that kid. I see what he got. I think Jordan Love, because a lot of people were laughing at the few games that I saw him in last year when Aaron Rodgers was out. It was like, oh, that kid has improved drastically. So my money
they have a decent defense. I think they could be a real wild card, not as in get the wild card, but a team with a lot of different varying outcomes. They could potentially be a playoff team. They could be bad. Yeah. But I think there's a real chance that they surprise some people.
I think they're going to play the Seattle Seahawks, Detroit Lions line last year. How those teams were surprisingly good.
Good comparison, yeah.
And we're borderline playoffs. One got in, one didn't, but that's where we are. And that's the team that I think they're going to be, all because Jordan Love is going to be a boss.
Yeah, we were disappointed in what the Green Bay their playoff disappointments lately, but last year we thought they had more talent than what their record showed, and their quarterbacks, tripping balls out there. It might be difficult to play like that.
Yeah,
unless you're Doc Ellis throwing a no, but I think they do have potential.
Yeah, and again, they're over under 7.5. I think they go over slightly, being an 8-9 or 9-8 team. I like all because of Jordan Love.